Hello there and welcome to these Health Diaries. If this is your first time on this channel, hello, my name is Daisy and I'm a certified diet coach who makes weekly videos debunking weight loss myths. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back. It's really nice to have you back. As you can see, I'm here to do something about this space, but as promised, I'm going to work on it in the coming weeks and very soon we'll have a very lovely background. But we can say that whatever we have right now is working. So today we're going to be talking about something that I'm very passionate about. And that is the weight loss myths that weight loss supplements will help you lose weight. And when I talk about weight loss supplements, I'm not talking about things like your whey protein powder or your USN diet fuel that helps you fuel up without upping those calories. No, I'm talking about those weight loss supplements that are marketed as
fat burners, metabolism boosters,
and any other kind of marketing antics that you have come across. You know those weight loss supplements that I'm talking about, the ones that promise quick results with very minimal effort.
Fat, you need the John Worley Aloysius Wiggle Worm. Results may vary.
So today I'm going to be talking about why people think that these weight loss supplements work, what the science actually shows, and what you can do to lose weight with or without the weight loss supplements. Without much further ado, let's get started on this very interesting topic. I have quite a lot to share about this. So let's get started on why people think that weight loss supplements can even help them work. And when I'm talking about this, I'm not going to be very judgy about it. In fact, I'm not going to be judgy at all, because before I lost weight, before I finally got into diet coaching, I actually believed many of these weight loss myths that I cover in this series. And at some point, I really did think that weight loss supplements could help me lose weight. I could have seen a metabolism booster and I would have tried it because I thought that was the way to get there. So why do people like me in the past and other people even now think that weight loss supplements can help them lose weight? First, let's talk about the marketing hype. When you see something marketed as a fat burner or a metabolism booster, it actually just speaks to you and tells you exactly what it's going to do. Because, for example, if you think that you have low metabolism and someone markets something to you as a metabolism booster and you think, okay, if I just fix my metabolism, then I can finally lose the weight. And to make matters worse, these weight loss supplements are endorsed by celebrities, influencers, and other public figures who will look at and see that they have lost their weight. And if they lost their weight using those weight loss supplements, then surely even we can also do the same thing, right?
Look what he bought me. Magic pills, huh? Maybe I should try some. Oh, look! Ray's clothes just flew off the bed and into the hamper. These really work.
The second part is that it's a quick fix. Let's be honest. Weight loss in the traditional sense, when you talk about calories in versus calories out, is difficult. You're talking about moving more and eating less, and that requires discipline. It requires a lot of patience. For example, when I finally lost 15 kilograms, that took me like a year to do that. And you had something marketed to you as a weight loss supplement that is guaranteed to help you get there in less time. For example, if you want to lose 10 pounds, instead of going to the gym and changing what you eat, what if you just take this fat burner?
I love these pills. They give me so much energy, and I can eat whatever I want. Oh God.
So weight loss supplements promise big results without the lifestyle changes. And for many people, that's perfect. That's exactly what they need to finally get to their weight loss goal, because they don't need to be sweating in the gym. They don't need to be cooking vegetables in the kitchen. They can just take this supplement, which will boost their metabolism and burn fat and maybe even help them build muscle. There's just so much to these. That we have to talk about the scientific aspect. And I'm not talking about what science actually says. I'm talking about the way that marketers use scientific language to convince us that these weight loss supplements can help us lose weight. How do they do this? They use terms like
fat blocker, appetite suppressor, damogeny.
These words sound scientific, and because of that, they just sound so credible. You look at something that's marketed as a fat blocker and you think, if I just take that, the fat on my thighs is definitely going to go away.
Yeah, Mr. White. Yes, science.
And because they use such credible words, even when the scientific arguments are weak and even when the supplements themselves are not supported by actual existing studies, you start thinking that this product is credible. And for many people, it stops at what is marketed to them. If something is marketed as a fat blocker or an appetite suppressant, they take that at face value. It's not like they're going to go and do their own research and look at whether the ingredients in the product will actually give them the results that they want. They'll look at it and they'll see fat blocker, appetite suppressant, fat burner, whatever it says. They'll just look at that and assume that the marketing department actually based their arguments on credible research findings.
Science is a liar sometimes.
But in many countries, including developed countries like the US, there is not much monitoring over what people can say about their products. They're not even required to tell you exactly the amount of ingredients that they have used in the product. They can just say proprietary blend, and that's enough to pass the FDA checks. So people end up with these scientific sounding supplements that are guaranteed to help them lose weight, but in reality, they don't really know what's in the products. They don't really know whether the products are designed to give them the results that they want. And finally, we have number 4, which really convinces many people to use weight loss supplements, and that is personal stories from people who have used the same products.
No, my wedding day. What? Yeah, remember that day? Outdoor wedding. Arlene looked great. Those water pills really worked.
Because let's be honest, it's very easy for a company to come to you and tell you that if you take these, you'll end up losing 10 pounds in 2 weeks. But if someone that you know, or even a celebrity, just takes the same product and comes on their page and then they say that, okay, yeah, I lost the last 15 pounds that I needed to lose, and all I did was take these fat burning supplements.
You need the John Whirly Aloysius Wiggle Worm. Results may vary.
People look at those personal stories and they think that because this has happened to someone that I can see, or even someone that I know, or someone that I admire, then it's possible that this can also happen to me. And all they did was take a supplement. I can do that. I'll just click on the link, buy the product, wait for it to be shipped to me, and then I'll also lose the 15 pounds or whatever amount of weight I'm trying to lose. So it just comes down to 4 factors. Number 1, we have the marketing hype. Number 2, we have the desire for quick fixes. Number 3, there is the allure of scientific sounding words. They make the product seem more credible. And number 4, we have personal stories. That's what it takes to convince people that taking weight loss supplements is effective. But is it? In this channel, I always like to back everything with science, whether I'm arguing for or against something. So when it comes to whether weight loss supplements work, and again, when I talk about weight loss supplements, I'm talking about fat burners, metabolism boosters, appetite suppressants. And I also have to note here that I'm not including supplements like Wegovy and Mounjaro or any other GLP-1 drugs, because those we know can actually lead to weight loss. I'm talking about these other weight loss supplements that are marketed as a way to lose weight. You know, your fat burners, your metabolism boosters, and any other that you have come across. So does the science actually support that these weight loss supplements can help you or anyone else lose weight? The answer is no, and I have 4 reasons for you. Number 1, weight loss supplements often include ingredients like green tea, caffeine, and soluble fiber. And while these ingredients are known to have an effect on weight loss, their effects are usually very modest, and by that I mean that they are minimal. So they might be effective at reducing your appetite, they might be effective at increasing your metabolism, but the effects are usually very small and they are short-lived. So for example, if you're taking a weight loss supplement that includes a high amount of caffeine, yes, you will find that your metabolism will increase, but those boosts are minimal. So the weight loss that you get when you're using the supplement will be similar to what you will get without using the supplement. So at some point, there is not really that big of a benefit of taking the weight loss supplement. The second one is the behavioral changes that people don't account for. Usually, when people go on a weight loss journey, they change a lot about themselves. They change how they move, they start being more active, they change how they are eating, they start eating more plant-based foods, or they start eating more organic foods, or they start minding their portions. And as a result, they start losing weight because, again, it's always calories in versus calories out. If you start being more active, if you start making better decisions about your food, then you will end up losing weight. But because they are also taking the weight loss supplement at the same time, they assume that their benefits are coming from the weight loss supplement, but in reality, it's because they're making these other lifestyle changes. And as a result, they start thinking that, okay, the supplement is working and I'm going to share it on my Instagram page and tell people that I have lost weight because I've been taking this supplement. And they're giving credit to a product that had very minimal effects on their weight loss journey. And what actually happened was that they made decisions that helped them lose weight, lifestyle changes. Number 3, let's talk about scientific studies, because as you all imagine, there have been scientific studies that have been conducted on the effects of weight loss supplements on weight loss journeys. So what do the studies show? Now this is where it gets interesting. If you look at the actual studies that have been done on weight loss supplements, you'll find that they focused on a very short duration, which again ties back to point number 1 where I said that the effects are usually short-lived because the studies also focus on a very short duration. So we're able to study the effects of the ingredients over a short time, and that makes it hard to predict whether the changes can be maintained in the long term. But that's not all.
Science is whatever we want it to be.
Then we also have to talk about the fact that the supplements industry often funds most of these studies. And that makes it hard to trust that the researchers are objective, because if you're getting money from, let's say, company ABC to talk about the effects of caffeine supplements on weight loss, and company ABC makes caffeine supplements and they're funding your study, then they'll probably be very involved in the study because, of course, they want results that are favorable to their product. And they want results, they want the study to have results that they can publish on their website. And as a result, that causes bias in the data collection, in the data analysis, in the findings and discussion, in the conclusion. You end up with a study that is by all means considered to be objective, but once you start peeling back the layers, you realize that you cannot actually trust these results to be credible because there are other interests in the study, and that comes down to their main stakeholders, who are the supplement industries.
Thanks, science.
And number 4, let's talk about the potential risks of taking weight loss supplements. Like I said earlier, these supplements are not as regulated as actual medicine. It's okay for a company to just slap a label on a product and say that this one helps you suppress your appetite, and it will list some ingredients. They actually all may be all the main ingredients, but it is not actually required to tell you the percentages of these ingredients. So it's possible for these ingredients either to be ineffective because they've been used in very small amounts, or worse, to have potential side effects because they've been used in high amounts. Let's take caffeine as an example. We know that the upper tolerable limit for an adult is around 400 milligrams of caffeine per day. A caffeine supplement may have maybe up to 800 milligrams, but if they're not actually required to tell you how much caffeine they have used in the supplement, then you can end up taking a supplement thinking that it has the equivalent of 1 cup of coffee, and maybe you're taking 800 milligrams, and for that reason you'll end up with heart palpitations, you'll end up feeling anxious, you'll end up sweating, and that's the kind of nice side effect. Because on the other hand, like let's say if you have a heart condition and you're taking such a supplement, you might end up in the ER because your heart is struggling to keep up with the increased pace.
I love these pills. They give me so much energy, and I can eat whatever I want. Oh God.
So supplements are not always safe, especially when we consider the fact that they can be mislabeled, and supplement companies can hide some ingredients, or they can fail to reveal the amount of the ingredients that they have used. This can be very problematic because it puts consumers in a situation where they are taking supplements without actually knowing what is in them. It's unlike when you're taking a drug, let's say paracetamol. If you're taking 500 milligrams of paracetamol, then you know that the drug has actually been analyzed to make sure that it actually has those 500 milligrams of paracetamol. But with supplements, because they're not as regulated, a company can tell you that this has 500 milligrams of caffeine, but in reality, they have maybe 800 milligrams, 1,000 milligrams. They're not actually required to tell you that, and that makes it very risky to take weight loss supplements. And of course, one more downside is that they can be ineffective, because I can sell anything to you and tell you that this is a fat burner, and I can tell you that I have used green tea, I've used caffeine, I've used soluble fiber, I've used so many ingredients in this. But in reality, what I did was I went and mixed up some ingredients in my kitchen. I put turmeric, I put salt, I put so many spices and herbs in there, and then I just mixed it all up, and then I wrote some names, and maybe I put a bit of green tea in there and a bit of caffeine, and then I put that in a bottle and I shipped it to you, and I told you this will burn your fat. And you take it and you take it and you end up not losing weight because there's nothing in there that can actually help you lose weight. Okay, now let's get to the part where we talk about actual weight loss with or without supplements. Again, I have to reiterate, yeah, that when I talk about weight loss supplements, I'm not talking about GLP-1 drugs. Again, I'll say that those ones actually work. I'm talking about these other weight loss drugs that you come across in the market, your caffeines, your green tea, your turmeric, whatever is marketed out there as a fat burner, as a metabolism booster, as an appetite suppressant, those weight loss supplements that you find anywhere. So let's say that you're trying to lose weight and you've decided that you do not want to use weight loss supplements. Again, when I talk about weight loss supplements, I also have to add that this does not include fitness supplements. It doesn't include your creatine, it does not include your whey protein. We are talking about these unregulated supplements that are on the market. So let's say you've said goodbye to those ones. What can you do to actually lose weight? Let me let you in on 4 secrets that will help you get there. Point number 1 is that you're going to prioritize lifestyle changes. Like I said before, people often lose weight when they are using weight loss supplements and they think that's because of the supplement. But in reality, they've made some changes to their lifestyle. But what are these changes that you can make to make sure that you lose weight? It's all about coming up with a consistent routine that you can follow, not just now, but forever. And like I always say, as part of my Better in 90 program, where I help women lose weight and keep it off, it's all about consistency. You have to choose habits that you can maintain in the long term. So what are these habits? Number 1, yes, all these numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. Number 1 is that you have to adopt a balanced diet, and that means that you're balancing your macros. You have your fats, you have your carbs, you have your protein. You're balancing them. You're making foods that you actually enjoy, but foods that are very nutritious for you. The second thing is that you're being active, and by active I don't mean that you're going to the gym and lifting weights. If you can do that, even better. But by active, I mean that you're choosing movement that you enjoy. You're swimming, you're hiking, you're walking, you're running, you're dancing. You're doing something that you actually enjoy, that's such that when it comes to time to work out, you don't even think of it as time to work out. You're thinking of it as, I cannot wait until 5 so that I can go and do this and that. For example, tomorrow is my upper body workout day and I love it. But now, when I think about Wednesday, I don't think about, oh, this video will go live on Monday. Yes, I'm going to be working out on Wednesday. This was filmed last week. So when I think about my upper body workout day, I don't think about it as, oh, I have to go and lift those weights. I think of, I get to go and lift those weights. So what is that for you? What can you actually do that's very enjoyable, that makes you look forward to working out? Number 3 is that you have to get enough sleep, because adequate sleep is important, not just because you're trying to lose weight. It's just for everything, your mental health, your physical health. You need that time for your body to repair itself, and that means that you cannot be skimping on sleep. Have a consistent sleep routine and stick to it, because it's very important to have that natural circadian rhythm going. The more sleep that you can get, ideally that's like 7 to 9 hours per night, the easier it is for your body to even recover from the physical activity, the easier it is for you to actually manage your hunger and fullness levels. The more sleep deprived you are, the hungrier you are. The longer you're awake, the more you eat. Sleep, nutrition, and activity are very closely linked. So if you can get all that under control and come up with a routine that honors your current work schedule or your family life or whatever you have going on right now, if you can come up with a routine that helps you hit all these goals consistently, then you will actually end up losing weight and you will not even need a weight loss supplement. The second one is that you have to have realistic goals. We always talk about SMART goals when we're talking about our work goals, our school goals, and any other goal. We want them to be specific and measurable and achievable and realistic and timed. Oh, wait, it's relevant, not realistic. You want them to be SMART. But the same also works for your weight loss goals. You cannot be 80 kilograms today and you're saying that, okay, I'm going to take a supplement that I can be 70 kilograms by next week. It's not possible. Actually, it is. maybe you can try and go on this really incredible fast and lose all that water weight, and maybe wrap yourself in something that's like maybe made of nylon and walk around and run around and sweat and sweat and
Some people infatuated only by looks.
lose all that weight. It's possible, but it's not healthy if you think about that. And it's also not realistic, because even after doing all that, you might not actually lose the 10 kilograms. If you want to lose weight and keep it off, you have to come up with a realistic goal that focuses on gradual changes over time. So it's not just about the number on the scale. Last week I talked about why weight loss is not linear. Find a way to focus on more than the number on the scale. Focus on your body composition, how you feel, why it's important to you to lose weight. Is it because you want to get healthier? Is it because you want to have more energy to run around with your kids? Whatever that goal is, let it be realistic, let it be relevant, let it be something that you can achieve, and let it be time bound, so that you can know that I'm going to try and lose. No, you're not going to try. I'm going to lose 10 kilograms in the next 6 months by doing ABCD. ABCD is what we covered in the first point where we talked about lifestyle changes. Number 3, let's talk about supplements, because I know some people will want to use supplements, and there's nothing wrong with using supplements per se. But if you're going to use supplements, there's something that you need to know. Supplements can help you with some things. Let's say, for example, that you struggle with appetite. You're always hungry, and even when you've eaten, you don't feel like you're full, even when you're eating whole foods. Then in that case, you might try to consider something like a fiber supplement to help with your satiety. So in such cases, supplements can be useful to help you get into that lifestyle change. For example, you struggle with energy, and maybe you might want to take a caffeine supplement to help you feel more energetic so that you're able to work out more.
Some people never shake until they've been shook.
Or maybe you struggle with sleeping, and there's this supplement that you've come across, like I see many people using magnesium glycinate to help them calm down and sleep better. That's okay. So supplements can come in to help support you as you get on this lifestyle change. But you have to remember that they are here to support and not to replace your healthy behaviors. At your core, you have to have those lifestyle changes. You have to eat right, you have to move your body enough, and you have to sleep enough. Those are the core habits that you need to lose weight. But you can also add supplements to that stack to support it. And after a while, for many people, you end up finding that you do not actually need the supplements in the long term, and you just use them for a bit. For example, you can use the caffeine to help you get that energy to start going to the gym. But after you've actually gotten into that rhythm, you might find that you need a bit less caffeine today, a bit less caffeine tomorrow, a bit less. Supplements are not a solution on their own, and so you need to look at them as something that helps you support what you're doing. They're like in the back burner, but what's really driving, they're in the back seat, but what's really driving your weight loss is nutrition and activity and sleep. And number 4, again, we'll tie back to supplements. Okay, let's say you've decided that you're going to actually start taking supplements. Before you finally go and buy that supplement, there's something that you need to do, and that is to consult a health professional. And I'm not talking about AI or ChatGPT. I'm talking about your doctor. Before you start supplementing, you need to go to your doctor and have them run the correct labs, because sometimes you might be trying to supplement something. Like, let's say you're struggling with low energy and you're trying to get a caffeine supplement, and what you're really dealing with is something more complex. You might even be dealing with adrenal insufficiency, and you're trying to make up for that with caffeine, or you're dealing with any other issue that's manifesting as low energy, a high appetite, or many of these things that people struggle with. So before you start supplementing, you have to actually rule out the possibility that you might be unwell. And once you've ruled that out, then you can, yes, start supplementing after you have consulted with your doctor. Because like I said, supplements might look very safe on the outside, but there is much more that goes into them. You don't really know what's in that formula. You don't really know what it's going to do to you. So before you start taking on that risk, you have to make sure that you're not actually at risk in the first place. And finally, when you go to buy a supplement, try to buy one. No, not try. Buy one that you have researched and you have found that is actually effective, and one that is clear about the ingredients that have been used. There are many companies that are more forthright, more forthcoming in what they have put in their formulas, and you can rely on their products without worrying about exactly what you're putting into your body. That said, this was myth number 6 in the weight loss myth series. We have very many more coming. I plan to take this series all the way to like the 1,000 weight loss myths that are out there. There are so many. I'm always compiling a few here and there. And if you have some, you can put them in the comment section. I would love to hear what you think is a myth and what is the actual truth, so that we can make this series that it's informative for everyone, because many of these myths are actually very believable, and unfortunately people spend a lot of time and money in pursuing these weight loss myths. And that's why people think that weight loss is such a very complex and maybe very difficult to achieve goal, because they have followed one myth after the other. They've been told, don't eat fats, they'll make you fat. Don't eat carbs, they'll make you fat. It's just so much out there that's very confusing, and that makes it hard for people to lose weight. And that's why I created this series, because I once believed in many of the myths that I share. And what I want to make sure is that other people out there don't have to go through the same hoops that I went through. They don't have to keep on believing these things. They can just avoid all these pitfalls and get to their weight loss goals and stay there without having to think that, oh my goodness, I had a carb, something bad is going to happen, or I ate avocados and that means that I'm going to gain fat. There's just too much misinformation out there. Like I said, I'm also thinking of doing reaction videos. But until then, we'll keep doing this series, and I'm very grateful that you made it this far. You can include your weight loss myths in the comment section. Until next time, thank you for joining me. Hit that like and subscribe. See you next time. Bye bye.
I don't get it. Yes, I do. It just hit me.